Hello everyone. Today because I was once active duty military and I was pushed into joining the Lioness program for the Marines. Not in a bad way. I actually looked into it and it was something that I was gonna do, but the training was so intensive that even for me, a 5'6", 150-pound woman, it was very hard. So for the average female, which is 5'4", 5'5", maybe even 5'3", it's really hard, if not impossible, to complete all these tasks. And I'm speaking from personal experience here, but there's many articles out there that will show you just how much intensive training these men have to go to. They have to carry their armor and on top of that their own body weight, which puts them at like 280 to 300 pounds worth of gear, and still be able to move agilely and fast enough to kill the target before the target kills them. So this would be inconvenient and unbeneficial to the unit as a whole, because women being there would actually slow down the movement of whatever process they're going through at the moment. And not only that, women being integrated with men also usually leads to a lot of discrimination, harassment, whether it be verbally or physically, and in most cases pregnancy. This is a reality and the statistics are very, very high. Back in 2009, Major Anthony Kokolo was forced to order a court-martial on any female that was pregnant due to such high volume of evacuations of deployment because of pregnancy. And not only would the woman be prosecuted, but also the male that was responsible for the pregnancy. So this is a real issue. It's a serious issue. It diminishes the mission accomplishment and also the integrity of the unit. When a woman senses harassment, they tend to isolate themselves, work with other women instead of cooperating fully with men, and this causes a conflict within the team. When you're overseas, especially when you're during war, the last thing you want to do is have conflict within yourselves. You have to be tight. You have to have that unit cohesion, and at all times to not lose your guard and kill the enemy before the enemy kills you. That's just the reality of warfare. Also, Marines, female Marines, were part of the Lioness program in 2009, but now they have what you call the female engagement teams, which pretty much replaced the Lioness program. And with that being said, female engagement teams were used for national barriers, as far as Afghani, Iraqi women not being able to communicate with men because of their culture. Women were used to do the searches and translate, communicate with just solely the females of that country. So pretty much they were running all the national affairs, which was good until the nationals, the officials of over there, of Iraq, Afghanistan, all these countries where war was at a big time during 2007, 2010 time frame, decided to step up to those jobs, and then the females that were involved in these engagement teams started losing their positions. So that kind of was diminished too. And because of that, the government felt as if women were being not diseducated. They were being judged because of them being females, that they couldn't participate in infantry activity, which was also not true, because these females in the engagement teams, they even went on patrols. So they went on patrols just as regular as any men would do, and involved themselves in open fire. But the media made it a point to make it seem like females were not being actively involved in the infantry side of the military, until Congress addressed it, and their solution was to infiltrate the women with the men. And once again, like I said, personally, I believe that that's a very hard task for a female, and it's not like there hasn't been females that haven't been able to do it, but to make it mandatory, which is the law that was passed, that would be unfair to the rest of the females who have had the option for so many years to not involve themselves in any type of infantry related jobs. They don't want to do it. They will find any way possible to get out of it. And now, since it's going to be mandatory, you will start seeing a lot of unauthorized absences, a lot of AWOLs, which means absence without leave, a lot of court martials, and a lot of these women going to jail, unfortunately, because they're disobeying a direct order. But the public wouldn't know that, because that stays within the military and the code of justice. It's all a process that doesn't really get brought out to the light as much as what Congress does within the military. Well, in conclusion, military women can accomplish the same as men can. No doubt about it. There has been many that have already went to war, have already been in combat, and unfortunately some of them have lost their lives. So to them, the most respect, and to the others who are leading the same footsteps of keeping the integration with the infantry, the more power to them. But on the average, the majority of females that are in the military do not wish to participate in such heavy activity as combat, and making it mandatory is just going to bring more conflict within all military branches as one. Thank you for listening.